In the world of fairy art from the late 1800s, there is one image that is incredibly popular, although it was actually part of a small series with the same theme. A naked female fairy is flying, hovering over a very tonal landscape or pool, and an inner glow radiates from her to the outside of her frame, giving a light effect that borders her body. She is human-looking, and yet too ethereal to be human. And this image is a beauty and a strange subject for this artist, because this artist is actually known more for his stunning paintings of rain-filled evening city street scenes. And this artist's name is John Atkinson Grimshaw. He was born on the 6th of September 1836 and became known as one of the greatest and most popular Victorian artists of nightscapes, streets and sunset towns. His birthplace was a terraced back-to-back house on Park Street in Leeds in Yorkshire. His parents, Mary and David Grimshaw. In 1856 he married Frances Hubbard, his cousin, and they went on to have many children. Of these children, 4 became professional artists: Louis, Arthur, Wilfred and Elaine. 1862 saw John make a huge change to his life, much to the disappointment of his parents. He left his stable job as a clerk at the Great Northern Railway and dedicated his time to becoming a full-time artist. In 1862 he had his very first exhibition, for which his patron was the Leeds Philosophical and Literary Society. The subjects he painted for this exhibition were flowers, birds and fruit. In 1866 the Atkinson Grimshaw family took a house. This was a semi-detached villa in Headingley in Yorkshire. This house is now known as 56 Cliff Road and has a blue plaque from the Leeds Civic Trust to commemorate his time living there. By 1870 times were much better for him and he was able to purchase Nostrup Old Hall, also renting a second holiday home at Scarborough called Castle by the Sea. Sadly, in 1893, on the 13th of October, John Atkinson Grimshaw passed away after contracting tuberculosis. He is buried at Woodhouse Cemetery, also known as St George's Fields in Leeds. So what of his work? As I have said, he became one of the Victorian era's most popular artists, self-taught, his realistic style coming from a love of photography, and his dabbling in using lenses to project cityscapes and streets onto the canvas to make up for his lacking in his drawing skills. To some, this realism was lacking in artistry, and yet for his contemporaries such as James McNeill Whistler, his paintings were sublime. Whistler, whose studio in Chelsea in London was close to that of Grimshaw, himself considered Atkinson Grimshaw, or Grimmy, his moonlight street paintings far superior to his own work that was in the same vein. Like the art of the Pre-Raphaelites, who Grimshaw admired immensely, realism was all important, especially the atmospheres of gaslit streets at evening and night, and those rainy, misty London streets, creating an eeriness and yet familiarity to anyone who has lived in a town or a city. As time went on, he added work illustrating the poems of Longfellow and Tennyson, or mythical depictions from the Greek and Roman era. And it was in the 1870s and 1880s that these fairy and goddess-like works that we know so well appeared, at a time when the fascination with fairies was rife in Victorian society, and their magic pervaded even those in the highest of society, as we have mentioned in other episodes about the fairy artists. I love these street scenes so much. They resonate with my childhood memories of Lancashire and Manchester streets and the Industrial Revolution's legacy that still makes up so much of the north of England's character. And of course his fairies. Iris, that glow straight from the luminous street scenes now transposed onto fairy folk, from the gaslight and the moonlight now part of a solitary fairy figure. Surely this is the best of both worlds for anyone who loves fairy and historical Victorian art.